Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this video, we're going to be talking about the DC Essentials reveal from San Diego Comic-Con. Now, I was not at the convention, so I got these images from Toy Arc, so all credit goes to them. I just want to show you guys these so we can talk about them, because this is kind of an interesting thing with the DC figures. These guys will be in the 6.75 inch range, so they're going to be a little bit larger, and they're a lot like the DC Icons line, except they're not. They're new engineering, new designs. Is that a good thing? I don't know. On these posed pictures where they're actually on display, the figures don't look too bad. They look like they have a lot of good stuff going for them, so I'm very hopeful about that. But then when you transfer over to the promo shots, you can see that there's a pretty significant issue with proportions. They have very lanky arms, very low set shoulders, kind of a narrow chest, just relatively strange looking overall. Now that won't necessarily be a problem, because as soon as you pose them, most of those things will probably go away, but we're gonna have to wait and see how that actually turns out and how it plays out. We see some benefits to this. We have a thigh swivel in there. They've flipped the articulation in the abdomen, which is what I've been saying all along. Standard ab crunch on top and then a waist swivel, so that's a good thing. But you know, they do look a little iffy in some poses. Their arms in particular look particularly lanky, so it could be a problem. Hoping it's not, but it could be. So Superman, definitely a more classic look for his face. The DC Icons one that came out was a little iffy, and this one definitely looks a lot better, so that's a good thing. He doesn't have any red trunks though, so if you are a fan of Superman having red trunks, this is not going to be for you. But just, it's another example. Maybe it's just the way they're posed, but these promo shots make them look very strange. Very small torsos, long arms, kind of a sway back look to them. It just looks odd, so I'm hoping they're good. They look like they could be really good, but we've seen in the past that figures that look like they could be really good from them, from DC Collectibles, don't always turn out to be. Flash is another example. He looks really good on display. When he's posed in a nice pose, he looks nice. So that may be the deciding factor. If you don't care how they look unless you're putting them in a dynamic pose, then it's probably going to be okay. But if you want them to look good both dynamically and kind of in a neutral pose, they might be a problem. You can see, at least for me anyway, so you can't see that, but you can probably see for yourself what I'm seeing, and that is that Flash looks like he has maybe better proportions than the other guys. So it looks like we're going to see a lot of unique parts on these, or maybe it's just an optical illusion. I don't know, but it looks to me like he's got a whole lot better proportions. So if that's the case, that means he's got unique sculpt, and that's a good indicator of them putting a lot of effort into this line. So fingers crossed that it is actually going to pan out to be pretty good. Here you can see Wonder Woman, and it's a very nice looking figure. Lots of paint, lots of sculpt, probably the most expensive one for them to produce out of the ones we've seen so far. So hopefully she's going to be a good one. It looks like she's probably going to be the best of the bunch, both because they're putting a lot of money into it and because she has better proportions than everyone else. You can see her arms aren't anywhere near as long or as lanky, and her torso seems a little bit better sized to line up with the rest of her body. Now granted, that is because she's a female and she doesn't need a broader chest like the males do, because that's just not how women are built, but maybe they need to broaden those chests on the males, and I think they'll look much better, and we'll see. Maybe they'll do that. These are obviously very early on, so who knows? It could change, but as of right now, Wonder Woman looks way better than all of the other guys, except for maybe Flash. We can also talk about Deathstroke, which, not my preferred look for Deathstroke, but it looks like it could be a cool figure, assuming that they do a good job with it. I don't know, a lot of that orange plastic could very easily look cheap if it doesn't have any paint on it, so I'm a little bit worried about that. I do like that they're rounding out the knee areas and the elbow areas. It makes for a much better looking figure once it's posed, so that's a definite good thing. You can see though, he's a great example of the somehow off proportions. The hands pretty much fall where they're supposed to, mid-thigh, but the arms look exceptionally long. And I think it might just be the torso. Something's off about it, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Fingers crossed they're really good, but at this point, we're not sure. It's kind of a mystery. Hal Jordan does look really good, I think. They're doing a nice bright green for him. I like that. We've seen a lot of Hal Jordans where it's very dark green, and that's just less appealing. And I do really, really like his display stand, that green thing. Assuming he gets that in the actual package, then that's going to be fantastic. I'm not sure if these guys, all these display stands that they were on, come with them. I think they do, but his is particularly cool. Can't beat translucent plastic. And Green Lantern translucent plastic, that's even better. He does look like he has super long arms again, but the rest of his body looks pretty good, so maybe they can just tweak that. I think it's really just the lower arms, especially on Hal Jordan here. You can see his lower arms just look so very long. Maybe it's the way they did the elbow articulation. I'm not sure, because it looks like it lines up properly on his torso, but then there's still something off. I don't know. I can't place it. If I had it in hand, I could probably tell you better, but all we can do is guess at this point. And here we can see Aquaman, who looks pretty good on display. Metallic green, or metallic orange with the gold and the green. Pretty much your classic look for Aquaman, although he's got a little bit too much of a comb over for my liking. Not a big deal. Still looks pretty cool. But when you look at the promo shot, he's got terrible proportions. Very big upper body, very small legs. It's almost the opposite of the DC icons. Interesting thing is, they look like they have ball hinge ankles, but he also has a shin swivel, which is totally redundant if the ankles are in fact ball hinges. So we're gonna have to wait and see. These look like they might have missed the mark once again with both articulation and proportions. So definitely not a good sign. And then we get to look at Nightwing, which looks really good on his display stand. Not the best looking display stand since it's just a bunch of garbage, but still he looks like a pretty good figure on the display stand, so I like that. We never did get our DC Collectibles Nightwing, and we don't really have a great Nightwing figure in general, so this is going to be a big thing for a lot of people, myself included. I love Nightwing as a character, so I'm very much looking forward to that. But he definitely has weird proportions. His upper body looks way too big compared to his lower body. He's got like Toy Biz Iron Man, Marvel Legends proportions. Not that bad, but still, it's not good. So if they do come out with another line like this, very similar to the DC Icons line, and they screw up the proportions, oh man, I sure hope the articulation's good, because they can't suffer another hit like that, I don't think. So that'll do it, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I have new videos up every single day. We talk about action figures, movies, TV shows, video games, all kinds of fun stuff, so make sure you come back for that. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, and in the meantime, keep collecting.